After my last video, I realized that I need to finally practice anatomy. I've only done some heads and a torso once, a long time ago, so it's almost like I'm just starting out. I'm gonna do a 7-day challenge in order to push myself to do it before the deadline. My summer break ends in 7 days, so unfortunately I'm not gonna have this much time to do these videos anymore. The plan. For the first 4 days I'm gonna focus on making the separate body parts. Then I'm gonna have 3 days for doing the whole body together. The method I'm using for practicing is from flipped normals. The link to that video is in the description. Using that method you sculpt something 4 times. 2 times with reference and 2 times without it. I also gave myself a 30-minute limit for each sculpt. My resources are the book Anatomy for Sculptors and YouTube. Most of the videos I watched were from Adii's channel. They were very helpful and I learned a lot from them. Link to the channel in the description as well. Day 1. The torso. I didn't find it too hard, but the time limit turned out to be shorter than I expected. Because of this I failed to finish the first sculpt. Other than that, the chest was tough to make. I eventually figured it out thanks to references. The back confused me before doing this challenge, but it actually turns out to be not that complicated. The final sculpt looks good enough for me. Day 2. The head. It was definitely tougher than the torso. As usual, on the first sculpt I ran out of time too quickly. That's why the eyes look so funny. The same thing happened to the second one, although this time I skipped the ears so I had more time to polish the face itself. I knew I had to get quicker in order to make any face at this point, so I rushed the third one and actually got to the eyelids. On the last sculpt I even got to work on improving the face shape, which wasn't the greatest in all other face sculpts. Day 3. The arms. With this I entered into uncharted territory. The first arms was so hard to make that I decided to bend the time limit for once and just follow along Adii's video. It took me 1 hour and didn't look much better, but I did learn the method which helped me in the future sculpts. I planned on making the last 2 on this day as well, but I felt sick again. I couldn't do any more sculptures on this day. Day 4. I only got to do the last 2 arms. They turned out alright, but something was definitely wrong with them. After this I skipped the next day and used it to rest. So yes, this didn't take me just 7 days, but it did take me about 7 days of sculpting, so I think it counts. Day 5. The legs. After resting I actually managed to make all 4 sculpts that were planned. They turned out okay, but I struggled with making the ankles. The whole connection from legs to feet confused me. Generally, connections from all over the body were kind of tough. I struggled with most of them, except the neck, which for some reason wasn't that bad. Day 6. The first full body sculpt. Unfortunately, I forgot to record the first part of me making the face. You probably didn't notice since I usually cut the footage a lot anyway. It's always way too long without editing it, but in the future I plan to do a full time-lapse video with the original footage. On this day I didn't have much time, so I just made the head, the torso and started on the arms. Day 7. This was probably the toughest day. I wanted to make at least 2 full body sculpts, so I had to finish the previous one and make the next one in just a day. I quickly got to work and rushed to make them both. I made the first one in just a little over an hour. The second one took longer since I had to sculpt it from scratch. I also ran into some problems. I just couldn't make the torso look right, even though previously it was one of the easiest parts. I eventually got it to be acceptable. After 2.5 hours of work I finished. It looked worse than the previous one, but that's okay. You don't get the best result every time, and this attempt was still a pretty good learning experience. So, after having done multiple practice sessions in about a week, did I learn human anatomy? No, I definitely still have a lot to learn about this stuff, but I did however get to understand the shapes of the body parts more, which was pretty much my goal from the beginning. Thanks for watching.